Well, welcome to this combined ValueMed UK drug testing and drug testing kit product demonstration video for the all-new DOA X54 synthetic drug test for potent opiates. This is a liquid, powder and surface test that detects 5 of the most common and increasingly prevalent problematic opioids. So we've got on this test, if we just run through, a test for opiates at 200 nanograms, fentanyl at 20 nanograms, carfentanyl at 500 nanograms, nitazene at 500 nanograms, and xylazine, a veterinary anesthetic, increasingly prevalent in the drugs of abuse field at 500 nanograms. Now, this is a test designed for screening surfaces, environments, plastic bags, wraps, powders or tablets that you come across. Tablets can be crushed into a fine powder using 2 teaspoons, and the resultant powder used in this test panel to detect the presence of one or more of those 5 common drug groups. So let's show you how this works. Inside this foil wrapped wrapper, it has the abbreviations for the drug groups with the cutoff sensitivities on the back and an expiry date. Manufactured for us currently by Alltest. You get one of these panels, remove the cover, and that reveals these 5 prongs, one for each of the drug groups. You'll see in this column here those drug abbreviations relating to the individual drug groups. Now, to test a surface or a powder or a bag, it's simply a matter of uncovering these prongs and wiping them continuously over the surface that you consider to be contaminated, or through the powder residue, or within the plastic bag or container that you think the drugs may have been stored in, to absorb as much of the powder and residue onto those 5 prongs as you can. The alternative, if you've got a tablet form that you're wishing to test, is to grind that to a fine powder using teaspoons or tablespoons and mix that into 5 ml of cold tap water. In any container, clean, dry container, before you put the tap water in to make sure it's not contaminated with anything. And then if you've either wiped the surface or made the solution, then you just dip the wicks into the liquid. If you've wiped a surface and not made a solution, it's just 5 ml of tap water. It's got a maximum dip level indicator with those little arrows on the orange segment of the plastic cassette. But by and large, you shouldn't dip it beyond or below that dip line. You need to keep it in until you can see all 5 wicks starting to run. See that pink dye starting to run, that lateral flow running through the area in the test windows that are marked T for the T lines and C for the control lines. Once you've absorbed sufficient liquid to run all 5 tests, the cover can be replaced. And now you're looking for between 5 and 10 minutes of development time. You want to have all 5 control lines showing before you read the test lines, present or negative. But as soon as you've got all 5 test lines, and that can occur as quickly as 2 to 3 minutes, you can indicate a all in negative test. So a negative test is one example shown here. Control lines all showing and test lines all showing. And examples of a negative test are shown and printed on the cassette foil here and on the actual cassette. A positive result, you need to wait for a full 5 to 10 minutes for a test line to develop. But if a control line is showing against that drug group and no test line at 10 minutes, that is a positive indicator that the drug has been detected at and or above the levels of the cutoff. And the cutoffs are indicated both in the website listing but also on the back of the foil. So carfentanyl cutoff is 500 nanograms, fentanyl 20 nanograms, opiates including heroin 2000 nanograms, nitazene 500 nanograms, and xylazine 500 nanograms. If there is above that level of parent compound put through one of these tests, it will give you a clear positive indicator that the drug has been detected. Very quick, simple and easy, incredibly accurate, and this combination test really is a screen for the hard drugs of abuse, opiate-based groups that are increasingly causing mass problems with deaths related to overdose and all the other issues associated with opiate dependence. So a great screen for testing your environment, powders, tablets for the presence of these drugs. I hope you found that informative and helpful. If you have any further questions or need advice, you can either pop them in the live chat sections on our website or contact our customer service team. We're going to pop a link in the description below which will take you directly through to the UK drug testing and value med websites, where these cassettes are now on sale and available for the UK population to purchase. Thanks for watching.